My whole approach to this movie was no more hiding sharks. This time you're gonna really see them. And to accomplish that, I realized that I had to build animatronic sharks with airplane technology, where these sharks actually move underwater, completely remote controlled, on their own power, moving their tails, their gills move, their eyes move, jaws move, and so on. The real challenge was that this movie is not a supernatural outer space movie or a fantasy about creatures that don't exist anymore. This is about sharks, and we've seen sharks on Discovery Channel. We know what they look like, and these had to be completely convincing. So first of all, the animatronic sharks had to be built really well. It took about 8 months to create them.
We always had faith in Walt Conti, who built Free Willy and Anaconda. We were working with Walt from the beginning, drawings, through the models, through the construction, through the testing.
One day, we were walking the Aquatica set, figuring out some camera angles or something, and the tiger shark swam by, and at first, we all just, because we're jaded movie people, looked down and said, oh, yeah, tiger shark, and then somebody like, is that what, you know, I thought we were going out to sea to shoot sharks, and then Walt walked by with his little remote control, you know, going, pretty cool, huh?
We always start by like immersing ourselves in video. It's like we look at, for weeks, we just look at every single thing that's been shot on sharks, and we actually look at it frame by frame by frame to try to analyze the motion. Because it's all about capturing that motion and the kind of the personality or essence of what a shark is. A shark is all about teeth. And getting the teeth right was really, really important. That coupled with the jaws. Up to this date, everyone kind of makes these jaws that move together. But sharks' jaws actually float in their skull and have a very peculiar, very specific kind of motion. Inside is actually quite complex. It's much more akin to aerospace technology. We basically borrow a lot of things that are flying in 747s and other airplanes. It's a lot of that technology, a lot of the hydraulics, electronics, and computer stuff. And that's the stuff that makes them go. Certainly there's always a lot of nervousness. It's like if the shark doesn't work, the film doesn't work. And certainly we had some history of doing believable animals, but until they actually saw the first footage of the first shark, everyone always wondered, is it gonna look like rubber, is it gonna look fake? And then when they saw that first footage, it was, oh my gosh, here's, you know, it's a real shark.
We had these mechanical sharks, which the biggest one, which actually plays in this scene, is a 25-foot shark, which weighs 8,000 pounds and has a 1,000 horsepower engine. So when you imagine this kind of an 8,000-pound animal moving 35 miles an hour underwater, it's real precision work, because it's like a big runaway truck and you don't want it to go to the wrong place.
In the wet lab is this incredible long scene where the shark basically is there in broad daylight for many, many pages of dialogue. And that was probably one of the scenes that people were most worried about, because it's not a lunge. It's the shark sedated, actually, which is not how you're used to seeing sharks. So that was probably one of the biggest challenges, just from like believability.
She's sleeping like a baby.
Those sharks are just as dangerous as real sharks, because they're the power of them is so incredible. So they can actually kill you.
The computer actually is used to record moves, so we're able to create this performance in this very specific lunge where it's biting off an actor's arm and ripping it off in one take.
3, 2, 1, action.
That was one of the more tricky shots, and initially everyone just assumed we were going to do visual effects and we're going to paint in the arm. We were able to program the shark to leap over, grab the arm, and rip it off. And we had 9 or 10 cameras going. It's something people haven't seen. There's no trickery there.
When it comes to doing your own stunts, I'm not very much into that. First time I saw one of those electronic sharks, I thought it was a real one.
Oh, here we go.
With the technology that we have now, with computers, with digital work, and animatronics, which are all computer controlled, you can look at it swimming, circling around, coming to you,
Ready?
biting you,
Thomas.
Yeah.
eating you,
And playback.
ripping you apart.
again right away?
You know, the dialogue went on and finally was, yes, but she was decapitated. That's all right.
She was in the shark was driving her up, she had to hold her breath, she was pulled under, she had to hold her breath there, she was brought up with the shark, and we did it dozens and dozens of times. And it required the actors gaining some confidence in the shark. At first they go, I'm not getting in that thing.
Want to go again quickly?
It's another very memorable moment that, again, without this computer-controlled shark and all those things, you just wouldn't achieve. You would never get the timing just right in that performance. So there's a lot of times when the actors aren't acting, they're just reacting.
In the water, speed is a problem, and controlling these sharks that are big and heavy is a problem. We realized that we also have to do some of the work digitally. So we knew that there is now the computer technology to create these beasts.
Wouldn't get that close if I were you. Just a suggestion.
Water's murky. Might make it.
We're not scheduled to kill Sam Jackson's character in that particular scene, but once again it turned out that the shark, being as big and powerful as it is, and the state of that particular set, which was built cantilevered over a 40-foot deep tank, made it sort of very, very dangerous for the shark to actually jump out of the water and bite Sam. So we opted for safety again, which, you know, sometimes a bummer. Sam would have done it. He's a trooper.
I enjoy working with Rennie. He always taxes us in very physical ways. You know, I tended to forget that. I mean, all of a sudden, when they said, okay, you're shooting in Mexico, I went, hey, cool. Mexico, hot, it's gonna be all right. Weather's gonna be nice, probably a nice golf course around. And the uncomfortability of the shoot never occurred to me. It's like when I read it, it didn't read as wet as I'd been. It read a lot drier. And now it's like, okay, you're also soaking wet running down a hallway. You're also getting, you know, bombarded by tons of water. It's like, wait a minute. I never saw all this when I was reading it. It's just kind of, something's changed in the translation of being here, you know, of going from the page to getting here.
You've seen how bad things can get and how quick they can get that way. And they can get a whole lot worse.
We're going to have another CG shark leap up out of the pool in mid-sentence, grab Sam basically by the head and shoulders and yank him underwater.
First, we're going to seal off this movie.
It's very much the same technology they used in movies like Jurassic Park, where they actually create a 3D, completely living, breathing, moving shark in the computer. I challenge anybody to tell me what is real, what is not, how different things were done, because obviously now that I'm telling you that this one is here to CG, you'll know that, but we'll know one shot. But anything else, take a guess.